Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jason. So we just got back from a race yesterday. We had they had the North Carolina Short Course Truck Series came through WCRC, and it was a great race day. They ran double mains, 2 heats, and double A's. We had a couple guys out there running 10 scale, 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. I think they ran together. We had some short course trucks. I think that the series started when pretty much there was mostly a lot of 10 scale racing in it. But anyway, so yeah, I ended up, I'm not sure where I placed overall, but I got 7th in the 2 final A mains in both E-Buggy and E-Truggy. And then, but in the first A, I think I got 5th or 4th in the Buggy, and I got 4th in Truggy. So I don't know where that puts me overall, but I got a couple videos of a couple of the runs. Not really, I always never get the ones that I really wish I would have recorded. Maybe we didn't know it's recording. Maybe, it makes me nervous. Heck, I don't know. But anyway, also had this motor locked up from practicing the night before. This is an SMC 1900. I ran this in my Mugen when I was running it. And I've had it probably a year and a half. And it's been a good motor. But it's not all the way locked up. But the bearings are really gritty and it's hard to turn. So I'm going to open it up. We're going to take a look at it. So hold up. Alright, guys. So I got it open. So that was just the top screws. And I was able to pull the rotor out. Now be careful when you pull the rotor out. They will always have shims. This one was on the bottom. On the top it had those shims. So that one was the one. So pay attention to where the shims went. And there we go. I just dropped one. The floor is clean. I was able to find it. So yeah, guys. So I'm looking down in here. I wish I don't know how to turn the camera on with the camera running. I mean the light on with the camera running. But you can see that there's some dirt in there. So I'm going to blow it out with the air compressor to start with. And I just want to give you guys. I hope I can get that on video, because with the cheaper motors that I would get, they wouldn't have something like this backing these holes. The dirt would just get in there real bad. So I thought that this actually I thought it was metal or closed at the end, but I was mistaken. But it does have that gray seal in there. Now a Hobby Wing, I intend to clean my Hobby Wing motor today after I clean this one and probably order some new bearings. But anyway, I want to show you guys how much dust is going to blow out of this thing. So hold up. Alright, so I'm over here discharging batteries also, but you want to get your compressor and put your air tip on it. And I'm just going to, I got it sitting here on the table because I'm trying to hold the phone and get this on video. But, alright guys, so let's see how much dust blows out of it. Oh, hope y'all were able to catch that. Alright, I'm going to finish cleaning it out, but y'all were able to get the impression. There's a lot of dirt collects in there. So you probably want to do this more often and clean it out so it doesn't get to the point where there's just dirt in there collecting on the bearings and getting in the bearings. Alright guys, so I got everything, all the dust blown out of it. Now I'm going to try to get the bearings out. And I was looking at this piece and you can see this metal flake here. So part of the bearing is busted off. It seems like some outer thing. I don't know. I'm going to have to take it apart and check it out. So hold up. Alright guys, so now I've taken off the other end cap. 3 screws. 2mm, and now I got 3 other ones. I already took one out. But one thing I'm noticing, the quality of this sensor board, just the way it's made versus some of the cheaper motors I've looked at. So I'm going to keep taking it apart and blow it out a little bit more, and then we're going to try to get the bearings out. Alright guys, so I want to go ahead and check the bearings. So all I'm doing here, because this one, it doesn't seem that this, hold on a second. Okay, so after removing those screws, I still can't remove that assembly. So I'm just going to check the bearing and lube it up. or maybe try to, I guess maybe push the bearing out from that way. I might try to do that. I'm going to look into it and find out how you're supposed to get that out before I, push the center of the bearing out and then have the outer race stuck in there. But there's also a solution for that. If you don't want to push the outer race, you could use a smaller diameter bearing and put it in the outer race, which I've done before. So, not on a motor, but on another part. Thinking a rear hub on a 10th scale car. So, alright, so what I was wanting to show you is you put your rotor in there, and then you can kind of, hold on a second. Alright, so as you can see, that bearing's still buttery smooth. The one at the back doesn't get as much abuse as the front. So, alright, so now we're going to take a look at how we're going to get the front bearing out, because it is the one that's kind of seized up. Alright guys, so to remove this bearing, there's a little bit of the inner race that you can see there. So I'm going to put it here in the clamp. I'm going to take my, this is I think a 5.5 nut driver, and I'm going to push it out. So let's see how it goes. Alright guys, so the bearing came out no problem. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, how am I going to clean this? Because I'm looking at the bearing, and it's a very high quality bearing. You know, nothing is busted about it. It's just dirty. So I got this WD-40 spray that I use for, things like this and other things. It's kind of like, it's like a cleaner, degreaser. And so I put it in here, and I just start shaking it around. And after about a minute doing that, the all the liquid there turned really dark black here. So I'm gonna dump that out and do it again with some clean WD-40. This is WD-40 Trigger Pro non-aerosol. I think it's the same exact stuff, just in like a liquid form without the aerosol. So, alright guys, I'm gonna do that and we'll take a look at it. Alright, so there it is before I start shaking it. Let's see how much dirt comes out this time. Alright guys, so basically did that for about a minute and a half with this one, and see a little bit more dirt come out. So now I'm going to dump this stuff out. Maybe just pick the bearing out of it, but I might use that to clean something else here in a minute, because that oil ain't all that dirty. Could be used, I say oil, WD-40 liquid. So now I'm going to go blow all the liquid out of this, let it sit for a while, blow it out again, and then we're going to try to grease it up and see what we got. Alright guys, so I ended up running it. I did that cycle. I had to do that cycle, and I blow it out with the air compressor, maybe 3 or 4 times, and kept going until it most of the grit was out and it was smooth. Now, I blew it out again. I've let it sit for a while, and I just got done oiling it. It's very smooth now. For the rear bearing, like I said, it doesn't take as much abuse, so I just oiled it and kind of cleaned it from where it's at. So we're going to put it back together and see how it does. Got my girls in here, Kaylee and Lila. This is Lila, Kaylee's friend. That's my daughter, Kaylee.
You already know me. And Lila.
What do you want to say, Lila?
I'm Lila, and I live across the street. And I remember the last time that I was on this channel, I was really shy. Now I'm basically
still shy.
I'm able to make friends with anybody, so I'm basically...
You guys are great.
This unicorn can poop.
Alright guys, so...
This unicorn can poop.
Okay, Kaylee, that's enough. Alright, so I'm going to get it back together, and I think it's going to work pretty well, so... Alright guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Later.
Peace.